Hello and welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's edition of TN Tuesday. Now last week I think I might have mentioned that I was going to this week maybe work in my travel composition book. Well, I lied. That's not what happened this week. So this week I went back into sort of the arts, the culture, and I'm talking about some reading. But before I actually get into this week's spread, I wanted to go back to my personal, my little personal TN that I'm doing on things, just my life and memories and things from when I was a child and hopefully through the years. And I wanted to just show you again, I think I might have shown this before, but this one page, which is all about how I became an avid reader and where all of my love for reading generally started. And it was at a store called, in those days, Walker's. And it was in Parkway Plaza, which was maybe maybe only, a couple of kilometers, or in those days a mile or so away from home. And my mom has always been, and still is if she can today at 91, she's an avid shopper. She just loves to go shopping whether she needs anything or not. By the way, I'm not an avid shopper at all. Anyway, so back in the day when I was just a little one, so this is sort of like 1960 or so, she used to, almost every day, we would go to Parkway Plaza and she would take me into Walker's. And Walker's had a book section. It was probably, it was one of those stores that had a little bit of everything, maybe a little bit of an ancestor to sort of like Walmart kind of thing, I guess, back in those days. And she would take me to the book section where this lovely lady called Lois would sort of take charge of me and babysit me while my mother was shopping. And I would sit on the floor and I would just take books, open them, turn them upside down, read them. And when Lois didn't have customers, she would come over and sit on the floor with me and we would look at the books. So I mean, I have no idea, other than Walker's, who Lois was, what kind of life she had, and I was only like 3 years old, but she is certainly the lady that I owe for my love of reading today. So I thought I would just give that little intro here, and I've shown this page before. So let's go into the spread that I got done this week, and I actually worked on this on Sunday as I was watching Scrapping Amy, One Mommy Scrapping. She had her Facebook Live on Sunday. So Amy, this is why I was a little bit distracted. By the way, I'm going to put Amy's channel below because she is going to start on Thursday of this week. She's going to do some YouTube lives in the evening, Thursday evening. I think she said 8 o'clock. I'm going to link her channel below. So this is the spread that I did today, and it's called Where Cozy Love Began, because not even 10 years old, I started reading Nancy Drew mysteries. And from that very first book that I read of Nancy Drew, I was hooked to cozies. So before I get into that and the journaling, let's look at a little bit of the supplies that I used. I used some Vicki Boutin Kaleidoscope here. And I used this here. And this, the way the page was cut, it was sort of because I had done a diagonal, one of my go-to designs, diagonal 12 by 12. So I just cut the strip here that would go, and therefore it was already a little bit on a diagonal. I flipped over, used the B side of that exact strip to put here, and then I just have this little scrap of paper, which I have no idea where this comes from, that was in my scrap bowl, and I just did a little bit of a border here where the two pieces of paper joined. I matted the photos in some cardstock. Cardstock is Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I think it's like a nice pale blue that goes well with this. These are also from Vicki Boutin. This was in one of my kits. This is a Vicki Boutin as well. I think these were from Field Notes. I think these might have been the enamel words from Field Notes. And these, of course, come from the Daily Flash. So, Where Cozy Love Began. And then I also have a few little stickers here from Kaleidoscope. And I finished this all off with just a few little enamel dots. So basically this page shows the books, so the entire subject, and then over on this side I used the same paper, a strip that I had left over. You can see the orientation is a little bit different because of the way the paper was cut. The cardstock that I had matted my photo in, and then this exact same paper that I had here, which was that little scrap, and I just added it here to give a little bit of extra color, and tucked in this tiny little bit of it that I had here. Two little clusters. So you see my clusters here sort of make the triangle over the spread. These are all Vicki Boutin Kaleidoscope stickers, some of these little flowers. This is one that could be layered, part of those little layered stickers. And again, some little enamel dots just to give a little bit of interest and just the tiniest bit of dimension. Because we are working in Traveler's Notebooks, I don't pop up my photos, and I don't do very, very much dimension so that they don't get overly chunky. You see this one already is, because I did do some dimension, and I don't think I even have a quarter, or definitely not a third of this one used up. And the same thing here in my Eye on the World. So I started off by maybe using just a little bit too much dimension. So there we go. So the journaling on this is from the very first Nancy Drew mystery that I read. I was hooked. I was quite young, 10 or maybe even less, which is why I put circa 1966 here, because I was born in 57, and I think it might have been even before this, but anyway. Cozy mysteries have remained a favorite genre ever since. I have also enjoyed time travel, for instance, Diana Gabaldon's novels, spy novels, Le Carré and Ludlum, but I always come back to cozies. They're easy reads, no violence, true and fun escapism. There's something you can read in an afternoon. I also enjoy some biographies, oddly, those of political figures. And as a person, I'm quite apolitical and not really very interested in that. But I do enjoy, for instance, I love the Churchill biographies and his wife Clementine, and de Gaulle's biography, for some reason, who knows, as well as some historical fiction like Edward Rutherford. I don't read as much as I used to, and I miss it. So there we go. So there is this week's edition of TN Tuesday. Again, as I always say, if you're working on your own lovely memories, TN, or otherwise album, please tag me when you post it, either on Instagram, or if you have a YouTube channel, link it down below in the comments. If you're a member of the Mercy Tiara 27-day challenge group, post it there and tag me. I would love to see some of the memories that you're working on from maybe your childhood or how you saw or see the world. So I'll be back next Tuesday. Thank you as always for being here, and thank you so much for your support of my channel in general and of this series in particular. See you next week. Bye.